Say that again, Mike. What did you say before we started?
Oh, I've been looking cute lately in this camera, you know? Like, I should be like, hey, girls.
Well, like the great Buffalo Bill said. No, I can't say that on air. We're gonna lose our rating for sure. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. Mike's over here on the camera like Buffalo Bill saying, "Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. I'd fuck me so hard." You ever seen Silence of the Lambs?
Yes, I have.
Saw it for the first time a couple weeks ago.
Oh.
Excellent movie. Excellent performance by Anthony Hopkins. Stunning. Excellent performance. And what's her name? Was it Jodie Foster?
I think it was Jodie Foster, actually.
Woo! Wow, what an all-star cast. That's a movie that holds up, and not all movies stand the test of time.
Yeah. Do you want to have a movie podcast instead? I'm down.
Yeah, let's do it. Movies with Melon and Mike. And Sort of White Stefano.
Sort of White Stefano. Shall I bring Victoria in here?
Oh no, it's okay. It's okay. We can discuss. We'll have a race and politics podcast another time. But
we'll call it the Bulls and Bears or something like that. You know how we have the leg kick?
Bulls and Bears.
I can't remember what that's related to. Oh,
What?
That's related to business. Never mind.
Okay, all right, Mike. Okay.
I'm just saying.
No wonder Victoria says you're not funny. Okay.
Oh, I know.
I'm currently wearing gi pants under the desk.
Show them.
I mean, our audience, they probably think we're naked from the waist down for all they know. So,
Hey.
got my Rise MMA gi pants. Shouts out to Rise MMA, my sponsor. I'm a G and a gi, Wow, you know that? But quick diversion. But you know that song G and a gi, Mike?
No, I don't.
You don't?
No, I don't.
Oh my God. Okay, so audience out there, check this out if you haven't seen it. There's a song and a music video out there on YouTube made by Gracie. Gracie of the Gracie clan, who defeated Kazushi Sakuraba when Kazushi Sakuraba was 112 years old in an MMA fight. He made a music video, and I guess the Gracies thought this was going to be a hit, a rap song called G and a Gi. And oh my God, Mike, can we play a little audio of that? Will it go on air?
I have to have it queued up before I start.
You have to have it queued up? Okay, next time.
Actually, screw it. Let me go on the Facebooks and see if I can pull it up.
On Facebook? Why on Facebook?
Sorry, not Facebook. YouTube.
Let me. In the meantime, let me give you guys some snippets, some of lyrics from this song. Okay, you ready about this? You ready for this? Okay. If you want to party, you don't need a gi. All you need is Bacardi, some CDs, and some Bob Marley. What else?
All right,
Plato.
I will be playing
Socrates, Shakespeare, rock with me. A G and a gi philosophy. This is poetry, ladies and gentlemen. Shit could get heavy like tons of broccoli. Ooh, woo! Oh my God. There's even a Hitler reacts to G and the gi.
all right.
This is just quickly. So this has become, ladies and gentlemen, one of the most prolific memes in the jiu-jitsu community because this song is so laughably bad. Like, man, this is hot garbage. This is like.
But in fairness, isn't that the whole point? Wasn't it supposed to be a joke?
No, it's not. You can tell, like, at least when I watch it, there's like a degree of seriousness where it's like, this is, it seems like at times they're like, ha, look, it's tongue-in-cheek. But in other times in the music video, you can tell it's taken with a seriousness where it's like, look, guys, this is going to be the next big hit. Like, this is what's going to bring the next generation of kids jiu-jitsu. We got rap. We got gis. Gis are cool because we're rapping in a gi. You know what I mean?
Oh, no.
Don't judge me. I won't judge you.
Well, let's
You don't know
play it.
jiu-jitsu. You don't know judo. Yeah, I have the song basically memorized. Go for it.
All right. We can't play the video or else copyright, but let's do it.
Let's do some audio.
All right.
Hopefully we still don't get copyrighted.
Can you hear it?
We might be okay because it's just from a random channel. Listen to in the morning. First thing in the morning, I'm pumped. I hit my alarm clock. I'm like, man, I'm tired. I want to have a productive day though. Like, am I going to reach for some coffee? No, I don't need coffee to wake me up. Coffee is a drug, okay? You know what I need? I need to hear G and a gi one more time. And then after I hear that, I'm like, yeah, ooh, G and a gi. Don't judge me. I won't judge you. Till then, one day we'll all be free. But till then, I'm a G and a gi.
All right. Where's
Mic
Gracie
drop.
name?
Huh?
Where's Gracie name? Halleck or Ryan. Sorry,
Hyan.
Hyan.
Well, no disrespect to Hyan because he's dead, but
Oh yeah.
let's not
I
speak ill
completely
of
forgot
the
about
dead
that.
Hyan Gracie.
I completely forgot about that.
No, even though, okay, just from a pure how it sounds, I would say Hager sounds pretty silly.
It's like your name is Roger.
Hager, it just sounds.
Your name
silly.
is Roger. Stop this. Your name is Roger. God rest his soul. Your name is Ryan.
Hyan.
Ryan. And
Or Caesar Gracie for me was always like, dude, come on, we got a theme going here, right? Are you the goose in Duck Duck Goose? It looks like you're the goose, buddy.
right. Oh, and technically speaking, Hickson for a long time was spelled with an H for some weird reason.
Probably for a publicity thing to get everyone to. For a while, Frank Mir was calling himself Frank Mir.
Oh yeah.
But that's because it's short for Miranda, because he's Cuban. Another great Cuban athlete. But
We got so sidetracked.
I know, but that was fun. That was fun. I'm amped now. Before I was a little sleepy, I hear Gina Gee, and then my testosterone just spikes. That should be Gina Gee music video should be a PED, honestly. Like my test and HGH are through the roofs right now. That was a pure display of masculinity. Oh, all right, let's get it. Let's get it. We got some news. We got some fight announcement. So we are the leg kick. We rambled on. We are the leg kick. Okay, Mike Asiffo, future star of MMA. His resume is dotted with, I don't know.
I'm an 0-1 fighter.
He's an 0-1 fighter,
I'm an
people. Let's
0-1
be
fighter.
honest here.
Yeah, I'm 0-1.
But in my heart, he's undefeated. He's Michael Asiffo, okay? Listen. You're just following in the footsteps of your good friend, Stefano Hosko, or Hosko, as you like to call me for the longest time.
Oh yeah, for like a solid 6 years.
Hosko.
For a solid 5 years without any correction. Stefano Hosko, how you doing? And then he'd be like, yeah, I'm good, man. And then after one day
Well,
he
you
goes,
just pronounced it correctly there. You said Hosko, not
Oh,
Hos.
sorry,
If
Hosko.
you actually wanted to say it correctly, it'd be Hosko. Hosko. Ukrainian.
Hosko.
Hosko. But I don't even say it like that. I'm so whitewashed on my
No,
Ukrainian
see,
side.
that's the crazy thing. I always say it. My name is actually pronounced Asiffo.
Asiffo.
But because everybody would go, hey, is there a Michael Asiffo here? That would be
Michael
like,
Asito. Oh my God, I'm gonna call him that for now. Michael
right?
Asito.
I'm like, it's
Asiffo.
Asiffo. It's Asiffo.
That sounds like the line that the villain in the Kung Fu movie says before he reveals his secret 5-palm trigram death touch. Asiffo. It's just yeah. I had too much coffee this morning.
We noticed.
We are the leg kick.
All
and
right. You said that for 10 times. Come on, get to the fight.
I got to
announcements.
introduce
Let's go.
myself.
Come on.
I am the undisputed king of cringe. The
Henry Cejudo
the
wants
cream
this
to
title.
Mike's coffee. I am Jeremy Asiffo. Let's get it.
Oh, Lord.
Stefan Hosko, actually, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to some news, some fight announcements, okay? A couple of big ones. One, friend of the Leg Kick podcast, our dear friend and lover, Cyril Gahn, just got announced. And we were calling for a bit of a step up from competition for Cyril Gahn for a while now.
Is this not okay? Go get to the fight now, and then I'll ask my question.
And a step up, in competition, and a step up in name value because, he's quietly been climbing the ranks of the heavyweight division, fighting, so he's had so many fights that I didn't even know the heavyweight division had that much depth. But it seems like he's gotten the proven results where he's exciting. He could be a draw. Let's get him on some main cards, right? He could make some waves in this heavyweight division.
But I think the big thing though for me is that it's not Tai Tuivasa where he's just knocking people out left, right, and center. There's a clear bag of skills that he has that he goes to that makes you excited.
Oh, the other fighter?
Oh, Gahn.
Oh, Gahn. So Cyril Gahn is signed to, let me check the date, to fight Junior Dos Santos.
Woo!
Heavyweight bout, Las Vegas, December 12th. I am excited for this one. I don't know how it's going to go because Junior Dos Santos, a very competent striker with some very pronounced flaws in that he boxes himself onto the fence quite often.
Except for last fight where he looked as good as I've seen him recently against Jairzinho.
Jairzinho Rosenstrike.
That fight, he looked good. He did everything he was supposed to do until he didn't. And
How did he lose that? For some reason, I'm drawing a blank.
knockout, but the knockout was due to... See, this is the thing. The entire fight, he was circling well. he was kind of keeping Jairzinho Rozenstruik at bay, and the one time he got a little too close to the fence, and by not even backed up against it, just a tad too close, he got knocked out by Jairzinho Rozenstruik's insane power. And the thing about it with Junior Dos Santos is he looked good physically, his boxing looks good. He was hitting that front kick for a little while too.
Yeah, his boxing has always looked solid. It's just that his ring generalship leaves a little to be desired. He gets backed onto the fence a little too. He's much better bull than he is a matador in that sense. I think when he. But yeah, I'll have to do a little bit of analysis on both of them before I can make a predictive outcome. But I think this is. I probably would favor Gon in this.
Really.
Most likely, yeah. I think just based on the trajectory of both of their careers, Gon's got a lot of momentum behind him. Definitely has more tools in the bag than Junior Dos Santos. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, but you'd have to think the experience of Junior Dos Santos is going to really see him through here, no?
I suppose it's just I don't know how much he has left in the tank. I don't know how much physical durability he has left, and for that reason, he seems to be kind of creeping into that Arlovsky. I'm not going to say Overeem because Overeem's on a bit of a run, but that Arlovsky territory where, he'll win one against a prospect, but more often than not, he's a litmus test in the division, And it's sad to say as a big GDS fan myself, but we'll see. We'll see what I'd like to rewatch that last fight between him and Rozenstruik. And then anything else you want to say on this one, Mike?
No. I mean, look, I think you know what? I've been saying Cyril Gane's is gonna be a champion in this division. I've been calling for it. He's my favorite fighter in this division, to be honest with you. So, hey man, sometimes you gotta be Icarus and let him get out there. If he burns going too close to the sun, then he does. But
yeah,
if not, then this is a potential guy who I think could be the future of this division. I really do.
And you know what? I think this was a pretty good slow burn for Cyril Gane up to this position. I don't think he was thrown in there too quickly. I think, he fought that lower level of competition for a while. I would have liked to see, I would have liked to have seen him more in main card spots, a little more exposure before this happened, but I think the UFC did a fairly good job when often they can just throw their prospects into the fire. And speaking of throwing prospects into the fire, another big matchup that was announced, Dominic Reyes versus Yuri Prochazka.
Ooh.
And this is a nice one.
Yeah.
Prochazka, who the UFC really threw into the fire against Volkan Oezdemir.
Yeah, it's like, hey, your first fight, here's Volkan Oezdemir.
Who is no joke. Hits unreasonably hard from strange positions. He's a good all-rounder. Good at backing you onto the fence. I think he had what I thought was a win against Dominic Reyes and showed a level of ring cutting that John Jones didn't show in their fight. This is an interesting one. Because, again, a bit of a momentum is clear. I guess I know. You know what? I guess Reyes had a pretty clear upward momentum until his last fight. He had a bit of a stutter against.
But I would say it was a hell of a stutter, and Yuri Prochazka just knocked out Volkan Oezdemir cold. So.
Yeah, absolutely. This man Reyes, if Reyes can lure you into chasing, he's gonna have his way with you. But Prochazka, man, he was honestly coming in, and if you remember this, coming into his UFC career, I was excited, but
there still is a lot of question marks with this kid.
He's a very intelligent guy, apparently, reads a lot of philosophy and whatnot, but he very strange style, a lot of holes in his game. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back and watch these guys, but I'm tentatively excited for this. February 27th at light heavyweight. So that basically, in this era of COVID matchmaking, that basically means nothing.
Yeah.
For all we know, this matchup could turn into oh, actually, it's Tai Tuivasa versus
Yuri Prochazka.
Yeah. And then Prochazka, gets subbed out, and we have Tai Tuivasa versus a last-minute replacement of Fabio Maldonado. And now it's Fabio Maldonado versus, So who knows? But exciting matchup.
I mean, we live in a world where Hamza Chimaev is facing Leon Edwards.
Yeah, oh my God.
Because Leon Edwards got bullied into it, and I still maintain that. But whatever.
Yeah, not a big fan of that one. Not a big fan of that fight. I think it's a big step backwards for Leon, and I think
because the UFC bullied him into it.
Mike Perry versus Hamza Chimaev. Now that would have been an interesting one.
Why not? this is my thing. I was saying this. Why not? Why not? But
Yeah. Oh, and here's another little interesting tidbit or interesting or Cerrone versus Hamzat would have been an interesting one.
no, so Cerrone would have got murdered. No offense, just he would have got murdered.
Based on what? Based on the limited data we've had from Hamzat.
Yeah, it's fair. Yeah, no, you're right.
Well,
but
I at least want to. Cerrone, at least,
Okay,
not the most physically durable guy in the world anymore, but at least he would have. He has a very dangerous guard where we could see Hamzat's top game tested a little bit. If Cerrone's able to get out of that early round, we could see him tested over the distance, see how he deals with a comprehensive low kicking game. Cerrone has some tools to beat pressure, right? He's got a
step up knee,
the stabbing front kick. So who knows, man? Who knows? He's got, not a super educated jab, but a jab that hurts people, like a good spear jab, very Muay Thai style.
But my thing is this. I know MMA math doesn't work really well, but in my mind, I go Hamzat Chimaev will probably beat Nico Price, right? Right? So
why?
Well,
Based on what?
Hamzat Chimaev has a great top game.
Mike's bought into the hype. A great top game. He fought two English people with, not English, British, one's Welsh. He fought two people that have notoriously zero wrestling and ground game. Like, John Phillips, no disrespect, he hits unreasonably hard, but
he's a turtle on his back.
Yeah, so I mean, let's not wax lyrical about his. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying I'm not excited for Hamzat, but
we don't know.
A little caution, yeah. A little caution.
Oh man,
because this could be.
I'm drinking the Kool-Aid.
You're drinking the Kool-Aid.
I'm drinking the Kool-Aid.
He could be a legitimate prospect in the vein of, I don't know. Let's say who's an interesting prospect who came into the UFC with a lot of hype. He could be. He could be a Justin Gaethje. He could be a Will Brooks. We don't know. That's all I'm saying.
Man, Will Brooks is sad. I was rolling out the welcome wagon. I was like, "Go get your title, young man.
Yeah,
go get it." And then he lost to everyone.
Well, and everyone's just like, "All right, we'll just quietly forget that." Yeah.
Right. Oh, and then people expect Michael Chandler to just come in there and be a top 5 contender instantly. And
Light Kick Podcast brought to you by Undiagnosed ADHD.
Yeah. No, but I'm just saying, keep in mind, Will Brooks beat him twice. And you're expecting Michael Chandler to just come in there. I mean, it was a long ass time ago.
Who knows? Yeah, it was a long time ago. There's so many questions that need to be answered, right? Between how long in the tooth was Will Brooks? Was he coming to the end of his career? Did he? Because I know he's been on a bit of a downward skid since he left the UFC, but I don't know. I'm excited to see Michael Chandler. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
Even though he's coming off a loss, but yeah, no.
Technically
I agree.
A win. He beat Benson.
That's another. He beat Benson.
Yeah, Michael Chandler beat.
Wasn't
Benson.
his last fight against Pitbull though?
No, it was Pitbull. He lost to Pitbull, beat Benson, and then was up on his Bellator contract, and then got signed.
Yeah, so that's the thing. People think he's going to run through the division.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah,
Benson Henderson, respectable fighter. Long in the tooth.
Yeah.
So, do we have any other news, Mike?
Oh, Ryan Garcia,
that boxer who's kissing the 18-year-old.
Ryan Garcia. Okay. The reason why this matters is because he's got to fight in a couple weeks. So and he's a highly touted prospect, as we all know. Ryan Garcia, the man with the speedy hands, and the gentleman who, by the way, what's it called? I can't remember who he's fighting, but he's got a pretty high-profile fight against.
Basically, you don't know the fight, you don't know the fighters, you just know that he kissed an 18.
No. It's not that. It's the reason why is I want to say it's Kell Brook, but it could be Sean Porter. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, look it up.
Right?
I'll be honest, I don't know.
But yeah, no, his pregnant girlfriend caught him kissing a TikTok star. I can't even pronounce her name, but whatever. Malu Trujillo. We're gonna pretend that's her name. Trujillo.
Oh yeah, Abel Trujillo's sister, right?
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, this is pretty interesting considering the fact that he does have a fight in a couple weeks' time, right? So the question I want to pose is, if he loses, boy, will this be the talking point.
Yeah, definitely like low information fight fans definitely this is the stuff of because they can't understand the actual technical reasons that went behind the fight. Not you, I'm saying low information fight fans out there. They're like, "Yeah, he lost cuz he's kissing a girl." Like
I wouldn't
man.
say it's because he's kissing a girl. I would just say that.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you. I'm saying this is the kind of clickbait that like, casuals latch onto as like, the narratives behind the stories.
Fair enough.
Not you.
What I will say though is I'm not saying it would be the exact reason. Of course, like a superior game plans, but the mental is really important here. And what I'm saying is that mentally it doesn't help the fact that you're going through relationship issues. Like, say what you will about Joanna, but when she says I was going through a lot of issues behind the scenes with my boyfriend and that's why I lost, yeah, you're a complainer, yeah, you're not giving Rose the proper respect she deserves, but mentally guys are up and down and they're better and worse depending on how they're feeling behind the scenes. And I'm not saying it's going to be the reason, but boy, this doesn't help.
I'm not saying it doesn't contribute because you and I as athletes know that, and fighters more specifically, know that stuff like this does play into.
I'm just gonna put an E rating. It's fine.
Stuff actually. Are we done? Are we done with the family?
No.
Okay.
It depends on the episode. If Czech Congo can swear whenever he wants. Yeah, but you're not allowed.
Well, when I get that Bellator heavyweight crown, then you'll feel differently. But what was I going to say? Yeah, I'm not saying that it doesn't play into the fight because we're humans. We both know that mental issues, not mental issues. We both know that
what goes on outside.
Yeah, it affects your performances in the cage. The cage isn't some, it's not some fight simulator where you just put in two pieces of code that act.
The exact same every single time.
Yeah, the exact same every time, regardless of life circumstances. Like fighters are dynamic.
Yeah,
like all people, they're dynamic. They change over time, and how you are in one moment is not how you are in the next. But so I have no complaints with necessarily attributing this to someone's performance as like,
a side factor.
Yeah, as an overall like. But if it's the only thing, like basically what I'm saying is like this does not get me any more or less interested in the fight. This is not going to be the reason why I tune in to see Ryan Garcia's pay-per-view.
In the back of my head, I just remembered it is Kell Brook. It is Kell Brook.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, it was just something interesting. And since Jeremy's not here, boxing correspondent, guys.
What do you mean I'm not here? I'm here in spirit. Just because I got a peanut allergy doesn't mean I'm not here in spirit. I speak through Stefano. I possessed his body, and here I am in the studio. It's me, Jeremy Asiffo, boxing correspondent. I think Ryan Garcia is going to take it. He just hits harder. He's better. He's better looking. He's got a nice piece on him, and I'm just gonna.
I'm telling you said that.
Go ahead.
I'm telling.
Go. So let's talk about the. There's actually a one and Bellator card as well. That have, we can talk about a fight or two on those, because we got Lima Mousasi.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
And we got, on the one card, we got Christian Lee versus someone who I have heard of, but we can just mention it. But let's talk about the UFC.
Yeah, sure. So let me go to this card and put on the thingy, the screen.
The leg kick is brought to you by, once again, undiagnosed ADHD.
The thingy. Okay, so this card.
Diagnosed. Wow. Interesting little card we got here. These top. I'm interested in all of these top four fights. To be honest with you,
even the Greg Hardy Maurice screen.
In so much as something weird's gonna happen. Okay, I'm not.
Like, I get it. Storyline wise, Maurice Green's an interesting guy because he moved to Albuquerque, I believe, and he was like on the back leg of his career.
I'm no longer on the Maurice Green train. I think he's sloppy. Quite frankly, after that Alexei Oleinik fight, I'm just like I am done seeing potential in this guy. He's like man, this is going to be. I think probably. I'm going to come on and say Greg Hardy's probably going to win this fight. Because Maurice Green, man, is just, they're both sloppy heavyweights. Greg Hardy's probably going to be able to catch him. Maurice Green's a tall guy that runs into switching combinations and then folds into the clinch. And I don't know, man. They're both going to be exhausted after a minute and 15 seconds of fighting, and then if it gets past that, if somebody doesn't get knocked out, it's going to be sloppy. Probably the most dangerous area of this fight for Greg Hardy would be in the clinch, because Maurice Green actually does work
He has a
decently in the
decent
clinch.
It's just he gets taken down.
Good shot selection with elbows from the clinch and whatnot. Yeah, will Greg Hardy take him down? I don't know.
And that's the problem.
Greg
right?
Hardy's just kind of like, he's kind of boring, man.
It's weird because early he was knocking people out left and right. Then he faces Alan Crowder, has that accidental knee, and then
Yeah, he's lost a couple of fights since then, didn't he? Volkov beat him in a very conservative performance, which is understandable because Volkov was coming off getting knocked out by Derek Lewis, so he fought very tentatively and conservatively, as you would after coming off of a big, spontaneous knockout loss in an otherwise flawless performance, but not spontaneous. He made a bad choice, but you know what I'm saying. Okay. I'm intrigued by the freak show factor of this fight. I'll say it that way, but
I mean, storyline wise, I get it. I mean, can you call Greg Hardy's run in the UFC a path to redemption? Not really, but
path to redemption, no,
not really. But you can call it him kind of living out a second career in athletics, and from Pro Bowl football player to now, competent UFC heavyweight. I mean, semi-competent. And Maurice Green, again, a guy who was on was one fight away from being cut. Moves in a Hail Mary situation to revive his career and wins it in the end against a guy who, I mean...
Wait, what do you mean? He lost his last fight, did he not?
No, he beat...
He lost to Alexei Oleinik in his last fight.
No, he beat Jean Vellante. Remember? In that side control Kimura. Right? That
Jean Vellante. Why do I not remember this? Probably it's one of the least
I remember we
fights
watched
of
it
all
together,
time.
but then you and David got into a conversation about politics, remember?
Oh my god. Okay.
But no. Look, it's one of those interesting things where it's okay, I can kind of see how storyline wise you might be interested, but not for the fight itself. I mean,
yeah, it's sloppy heavyweight. Fair. I'm just,
Although Uriah Hall versus Anderson Silva is the one where I hope nothing bad happens.
Yeah, he subbed John Vellante. Why do I not remember this fight?
Side control Kimura too. Side control.
Yeah, he was getting. Yeah, that's why. Now I remember this fight. It was largely unmemorable, and he Kimura John Vellante. Yeah. Wait, no. It wasn't a Kimura. You're wrong. It was an arm triangle from bottom side.
Oh,
control.
You're right.
That's why I didn't remember it. Yeah, that was.
That's actually even worse.
That fight didn't give me any more faith in Maurice Green. He was tired by the third round.
And also Jean Vellante getting sub by arm triangle and side control.
Yeah,
that's
John Vellante lazily kicked his legs from. I don't know. I vaguely remember this fight. And I just remember it being sloppy, and I'm not very interested. Yeah. Wait, I guess we're going bottom to top though. You want to keep working up to?
You want to go back up because I'm really excited about Kevin Holland. I am really excited about Kevin Holland. I think he's a 170er in 185, but
why is he a fighter that has performances that I probably liked and thought were entertaining, but I never can remember him for some reason.
Him versus Joaquin Buckley. He had a pretty solid performance in the Contender Series. He's an interesting guy. He's got some interesting tools. He's solid on his back.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. He's solid on his back. He's got great striking. He's just too small for middleweight, and not small in the height wise. Just he needs his frame is just a little too lanky for me to say, hey, you're gonna because the one thing about 85 nowadays is it's physical. Even Israel Adesanya looks pretty big for the division. So
he doesn't look small. He doesn't look undersized. I don't think I've seen him outstrengthed ever. Yeah, okay. Makhmud Muradov, I think, is very interesting. I remember seeing his last performance. I think he might be from the same town. Oh no, he's Uzbekistani. Okay, wrong fighter. Yeah, he put on a good performance in his last fight. Very very scientific use of boxing.
He knocked a guy out to next week.
Yeah. Just very. I remember it being a very patient, scientific performance. Interesting fight. I'll be tuning in for this one.
Yeah, no, it's a sneaky good card here. It's not by no means a bad card. I like Kevin Holland a lot. I really do. I think he's got good skills. It's just for whatever reason, he just looks very small for 85. And it's weird because he's 6'3". They have him listed at 6'3" here, but for whatever reason.
Interesting. Oh, we neglected the first one of the first ones on the main card, and that's Bobby Green versus Chuckle.
Oh yeah.
Bobby Green with a bit of a career resurgence now. He started throwing some. Bobby Green, I've always found very interesting. He works from a shoulder roll, which is something that a lot of people said.
They've abandoned in MMA.
Yeah, and I think one person who made the shoulder roll work in a context, they said the shoulder roll doesn't work because it makes you vulnerable to takedowns and leg kicks. One person who made the shoulder roll very effective in a kickboxing context is Raymond Daniels. It's good when you're being crowded, and it's still, if you're in a range where you can make it work, you can make it work. It's that simple. If the low kick's not a threat in certain ranges, you can throw punches off of it. It works the low kick well. He had an interesting. Sorry, it works against it. It works well even in the context where low kicks are allowed. And he had an interesting performance in his last fight against.
Was it Lando Venata?
No. He did fight Lando Venata, and that was another very fun performance where he dropped Lando twice. His last one was against. Alan Patrick, if I recall.
Oh, yeah.
And he put on a good performance where he showed that if he needs to wrestle to win a fight, he can wrestle. He showed some interesting reactive takedowns, some good suplexes in that fight.
Before, that was the Achilles heel for him.
Yeah, and he showed some new wrinkles to his game. I'm liking Bobby Green. He's been getting as many fights in as possible in the pandemic. Thiago Moises, all I really know about him is that he submitted Michael Johnson with that beautiful Achilles lock in his last fight.
Oh, but he was getting lit up, though.
He was getting lit up and found a way into the fight with that setup from a single leg and then fell back on the Achilles lock and just cranked.
But you're seeing a lot more guys do it. You're seeing a lot more guys from the single leg just go on their back and get into, I call it stage one. I can't remember the official name for it, but they fall into stage one. No, single leg X into stage one.
He went from not single leg X. He went from a straight up single leg takedown.
Oh, no, I know, but they'll go single leg. No, you're right. Okay, he didn't go single leg X, but you're seeing a lot of guys go single leg. They'll fall back, go single leg X, and then go into a stage. I call it
Ashigarami.
Yeah, stage one, but it's Ashigarami. But it's the way they called it in my school was a stage one, because then you can go into stage two, and then you go into game over.
Right. Understandable, because that is the progression that you would go through. But yeah, no, I'm excited for this fight, I guess. A lot of question marks for me above Moises' head, but always excited to see Bobby Green get in there. Who else we got? Okay, now we're getting into the real juicy meat of the card when we've got Bryce
Thug
Mitchell,
Nasty.
Thug Nasty versus Andre Touchy-Feely.
Touchy,
Quietly climbing the rankings of 145, these two, in a very, very deep division. Thug Nasty putting on some, he's shown off some excellent hick-jitsu.
Hick-jitsu. Tried to get that over me, eh?
my man hit a twister in a couple fights ago.
Man, but you know what? He's probably just a specialist with it, eh? Because he fishes for it a lot.
The twister, yeah. Quite possibly. And Feely, how's he done in his last few? Mike, pull up his record for me, my dude.
I got you, man. So, Touchy-Feely, here you go. 21-7 in the division, and Touchy-Feely has 9 wins by knockout, 3 wins by submission. His events results, he is on...
Oh, he beat Charles Jourdain. That was a great, very close fight. Charles Jourdain, a problem for anyone in that division.
Currently, Feely is on a... Oh, he beat Miles Jury. He lost to Johnson, so that's an interesting one. But he's on a 4-fight. He's 2-2. 2-2.
Okay, beat Miles Jury. He knocked out. Was that Sergio Moraes with a head kick? That was brutal. Lost to Sadiq Youssef. These are all very close, contentious fights, though, with people at a very high level in the division. Andre Feely better on reactive takedowns than he is on offensive takedowns. Decent jab, doesn't build too much offense off of it. When he sits down on his right hand, he's a lot better. Much better at I wonder if Bryce Mitchell's a southpaw, is he not?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so.
That could
complicate things.
Yeah, because that will have limiting factors for the takedowns for Bryce Mitchell to be able to pursue takedowns on Touchy-Feely, especially against someone with a good jab. But being southpaw versus orthodox could neutralize the jab altogether.
But I have questions about Thug Nasty's striking, because he's passable at it for sure. He hasn't had to do Like, he hasn't had to be complicated, but the thing about Feely is that Feely with every fight gets better at his takedown defense. So, at some point, a guy is what they are, right? For the most part. And Feely's getting to that age where he's going to start turning into what he is. But Feely's not going to be an easy guy to take down, and he's not going to be an easy guy to just start twistering like 80 times over.
I definitely think his level of competition has been higher than Thug Nasty. Generally, he's had to fight a murderer's row of the division. Let's call it what it is. He's fought Michael Johnson. He had that horrific knockout loss to Yair Rodriguez. That as soon as I think of Andre Feely, poor guy, that knockout just comes into my head every time.
Yes, Yair Rodriguez is good. Good taekwondo.
No such thing as taekwondo and MMA. But anyways, can we pull up Pug Nasty's record?
Thug Nasty. All right, let me go to the screen thingy.
Pug Sassy.
Boom. Oh, by the way, he said he wanted camel shorts or he was fighting everybody, and he got it. So
He got camel shorts, yeah.
Thug Nasty. He has a record of 13-1, 8 wins by submission.
Okay, Mike, we don't need to know his history from the time that he was born.
Okay, listen, he was born in some place in the south, and he was born with all camo. All camo. No, okay.
Yeah, so Charles Rosa, and then two guys who I'm not.
Sales, he beat by Twister. It was actually very interesting. Sales, interestingly, beat Kyle Nelson, your boy.
my boy. He beat Moff. Okay, yeah. So clearly a bit of a lower level of competition. So this is going to be kind of, Bryce Mitchell's coming out party, if you will, to the division. Is he going to be able to break into that top 15 territory or not? So
yeah, for me, this is clearly the walk before you can run matchup for him. Right. If you can beat Feely, then you're in the top 15 for reals. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and Feely doesn't want to be considered like a litmus test in this division. And I think, he is an interesting prospect, and there are many interesting matchups to be made for him. I probably lean towards Feely in this one.
Me too.
And then we got our main event, and this is the one I'm actually excited for. If I told you that Anderson Silva and Khabib would be retiring in the same week, you'd go tell me to go pound sand.
Right.
Wow.
I tell you to go fuck yourself, but that's another thing for another time.
There goes our E rating.
Yeah.
So we can swear now, Mike? Is that
no, not for next episode. For this one.
Fuck.
For this one, sure, because I don't care anymore.
69. Let's see.
All right, let's go to the screen thingy. And the screen says, all right.
Darkness says, Anderson.
Copy box numbers. No, I'm kidding. Okay, let's go.
Anderson Silva versus Uriah Hall. Wow. I was thinking about it the other day. We were having the GOAT conversation, and I think we need to have that at length. But, man, Anderson Silva really falling into that tier of BJ Penn category of just sub-GOAT. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's largely because of the later portion of his career.
I think it matters. See, that's the thing. When I was trying to have that conversation with you guys, I think it matters. I really do. I just don't think it matters as much as we make it matter.
Well, I'll tell you why it matters in the context of the discussion. We're not discussing is Anderson Silva great, or we're not discussing is he a legend. We're not discussing is he
a pioneer
one of the best of all time. We're discussing is he the best of all time, and when it comes into that category, you have to split hairs.
Yeah, that's
because when you're trying to compare, who's greater, John Jones or Khabib, whose legacy is better, you have to split hairs because there's nothing else for you to do.
I just think a guy who lost for the first time in forever at 40, what was it, 40, 41? I think then
well, sure, we can give him credit, right? We can give credit where credit's due and, make the appropriate excuses for him, but greatest of all time, maybe just a notch below.
Oh, yeah. I would by no stretch of the imagination am I under the illusion that this guy is
compare his legacy to someone fighting around the same time as him, like a George St. Pierre.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna. By no illusion, all I'm saying is that if let's say you get anyone at GSP, John Jones, and Khabib fighting at the age of 40, 41, 42, 43, 45, 44, up to 45, like this gentleman is now, I think right now he's 46.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. It still matters. It still matters, and we can't say, well, if Khabib was competing at that age, because he's not, and their legacies are what they are, and we have to factor this in. We have to. But
I'm just saying, if you were to get these guys, where would they be?
Anderson's still tricky, man. He's
Yeah.
still tricky. He's still an apt counter puncher enough or counter striker enough that Israel Adesanya gave him his due respect and took him the distance. He still has tricks and tips. He still has good.
He's as much of a technician as he still is.
Absolutely,
right?
He still has phenomenal intercepting counters. Has a great eye for. Man, I just
think Uriah Hall's got this one. Is it crazy? I like Uriah Hall.
No, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too. Just based on physical durability alone.
Exactly. Right.
I mean,
I just don't know how durable Anderson Silva is, especially with his legs being what they are at this point of his career. He's got two TKOs, just virtue of his legs giving out on him.
yeah,
Right. So
different legs as well.
Yeah, different legs. So I don't know how he's going to be able to take the leg kick. Now, Uriah Hall's not as much of a leg kicker as people think he is. I'll be honest with you. He's a guy who throws a jab, and a lot of his offense, especially his flashy stuff, he's aiming for your head.
Yes, a lot
But-
of one-shot kill counters.
Exactly.
Not a lot of accumulation. He showed a good job against Costa. Really struggled to get a lot of offense going off of it other than the jab, but he was lancing up Costa in that fight. Largely, though, that was a product of Costa walking onto his jab, right? Costa was there for it. He was trying to apply the pressure and just kept walking onto the jab again and again and again until Costa was able to get him to the fence and, do what he does best.
Yeah, and
Silva's not going to be
Anderson-
walking.
Yeah, exactly.
Silva's not going to be walking onto that jab, right? You need a different sort of jab, the kind of jab that Weidman applied in the Silva fight, where you're
You're
pushing
pumping it out and you're throwing in different angles.
yeah, getting him leaning, getting him reacting, right? Yeah, you would think leg kicks would have to be a game plan if you're fighting Anderson Silva at this point,
Mm-hmm.
right?
At the very least, throw that inside leg kick in there to the side. Just see what's going on,
Yeah. Anderson's tricky though, man. Anderson's tricky. I really don't want to count him out in any fight. Even now, at 46 years old, it's so crazy.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, I don't think it's going to go horribly. I don't think Anderson Silva's going to be stretchered out. God,
You never know.
God, I
you
hope.
never know. You never
God,
know.
I hope. I just
happened
mushed
before.
it. Yeah, I just mushed it. But I think Anderson Silva is going to be competitive. And to say that a 46-year-old man you think is going to be competitive against the number 10 ranked guy in the division, in the best organization in the world, is crazy. But I think he's going to be competitive. I think it's going to be a good fight.
Sure.
I just like Uriah Hall in this one. Just based on the fact that Uriah Hall's younger, he's more explosive, he's got those kill counters, and Anderson Silva again, he's older,
Yeah.
he's slowing down.
And I think as well, though, unless Anderson Silva's body gives out on him, I still think he's a tough fight for most people in the division. I genuinely do.
Yeah.
And that's scary, man.
I mean, see, this is the crazy thing is that I still think that Cannonier fight was closer than most people make it out to be.
What, the round in which it happened?
Yeah, because, again, Cannonier just went downstairs and, he has a thunderous leg kick, man.
I wouldn't call that very close.
Right? Okay, fair enough. I'm talking about just, strike differential and stuff. He was tagging them, too. And
Dude, didn't that end in, the first minute or so?
No, it was 3 minutes.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, no, it was a lot. And then, obviously, that Israel Adesanya fight was, say what you will about how Israel Adesanya approached it, but he still, gave him a fight.
I think he approached it respectably. I think he beat Anderson Silva at Anderson Silva's game, right? And that was a great fight. That was back and forth between, the old breed and new breed of sophisticated, flashy fighters at 185. That for me was the passing of the torch moment in the division.
And he still beat Derek Brunson, right? So this is, it was
Arguably.
hella close, but he did. So he's still a guy who can give a lot of people trouble.
Sure.
I just think that you're talking about a 46-year-old man.
Yeah. Now I feel bad for wanting to see this fight. Why is MMA so? Why does it do this to me?
Because the problem is at 46 he's still competitive, right? It's not like we're seeing BJ Penn trot out there.
Oh, it's Overeem syndrome, right?
Yeah.
Should he be doing this? Probably not. Can he still get wins against elite level competition just based on the fact that he's such a skilled human being? Yeah, but should he be doing it? Probably not. Probably not.
Yeah.
And there's no objective metric to assess this yet, right?
Man, that's what I've been saying. The science needs to be there, and then we can finally just tap somebody on the shoulder and be like, all right, it's time for you to go. But
I guess I think it's really the role of coaches as well. Like a good coach should be someone to say like, "Hey, man, we had a good run. Like, go right off into the sunset."
yeah, and to his credit, he is retiring after this fight. It's over, right? It's just
Is he though?
that's the thing, right? If he knocks out Uriah Hall inside a minute,
Maybe he'll test himself in another organization.
yeah, right.
Bellator 1 FC, Professional Fighters League, you know,
And then all of a sudden he goes on a 5. Then
and the UFC comes knocking again. I don't know, man. We'll see.
look. I mean, we're getting ahead of ourselves. I really like Uriah Hall in this fight. I'll be honest. Again, I'll say it for the last time. I think he wins it, Uriah Hall, but
No.
it's still a competitive fight. I'm still going to be watching. I would like to have a fight companion, but those are very draining on my soul and my body. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. One championship.
Al-Nusan fighting for his middleweight crown against someone you probably don't know. Fun stuff. Christian Lee taking on someone I don't know. And then Martin Huynh taking on someone I vaguely know from one's cringy, obnoxious Instagram posts.
Man.
So that's ONE FC in a nutshell. No, this is me in a nutshell. How did I get into this nutshell? Okay. Austin Powers, no. And then Bellator, we've got straight guard, heterosexual guard Mousasi against, or heterosexual top control Mousasi if you actually prefer. Bisexual back take Mousasi, no. Against Douglas Lima.
I love how only 3 people will understand that joke, right?
Everyone will understand it.
Nah,
It's completely intuitive.
It's not a joke people get. Man.
Yeah.
Trust me.
They'll
Not
get
even,
it.
some hardcores might not even get it.
Mike, no, everyone's gonna get it. Listen,
I'm
listen.
telling you.
So basically, Gegard versus Lima. This is interesting. Bellator putting on some interesting fights. Lima moving up a division, depleting Bellator's once storied 170 division even further to go up and business-wise, this seems like a very short-sighted move for Bellator. It does, because 170 is being drained as it is. I know we talk about it every week, but 185 in Bellator doesn't really exist.
See, this is what I'm trying to say is that competitively, look, there was a point in time where you stacked a 70 division of Bellator, and you stacked a 70 of UFC, and you'd be like, UFC still is better,
They're still better.
but it's not. There's some guys in there who can come into the UFC and light guys up.
Oh, sure, yeah. When they had Rory McDonald, who beat Tyron Woodley, when they had, Douglas Lima in that division, Neiman Gracie, Ed Ruth, right? Mm-hmm. Now they just have Ed
Jason
Ruth.
Jackson is still a tough fight for anybody in this division.
Yes.
Anybody.
But the name value is not there anymore.
Yeah.
Which concerns me. But this fight is...
Man, by the way, sorry. Shout out to Jason Jackson. I think this is a prospect in the waiting. I can't wait for his contract to be over in Bellator, for him to go to the UFC and light people up. A Jamaican gentleman, explosive striking, but still technical. There are questions about his wrestling, but he got robbed.
Ed Ruth.
He did, but it was controversial, and he got robbed. I'll be honest. I'll say it here. He got robbed against Ed Ruth. So, and he beat Kinimoto. So,
Okay, interesting. Well, this fight I see largely as the jab versus the left hook and the low kick. Mm-hmm. Classic battle of, can Mousasi throw off the timing of Lima enough to apply that jab? Can Douglas Lima, apply the, counter well enough with the left hook and the low kick in order to get Mousasi hesitant enough to enter in? The size discrepancy is going to be interesting as well, because Rory McDonald, say what you will about his performance, he looked outpowered in that fight.
Oh, yeah.
He looked undersized for 185. He said, when he showed up, he wasn't really feeling it, but he to me, he looked a bit outgunned in that fight. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be an interesting aspect coming into this fight. Lima famously struggled to make 170. It was always a difficult cut for him. And by all accounts, very strong 170. So we'll see how he translates up a weight class. Mousasi, not a small 85er.
yeah, this is a gentleman who at one point fought heavyweight.
Did he?
Yeah, I mean, granted, it was heavyweight against Mark Hunt, but
He fought against Mark That's right, he did.
Yeah. But this is still a gentleman who is a big.
Didn't he also fight an exhibition match against Fedor once?
Yes,
in
he
Dream?
did. Yes, he did.
Well, I mean, Shin Aoki also did that, but
come on, it's a different.
well, it's exhibition.
Yeah. But yeah, no, this is, again, Musashi, big guy. It's going to be interesting to see his size. The one thing, though, is Musashi's an experienced kickboxer. He's dealt with guys with power low kicks before.
That's true.
So, I mean, Lima hits unreasonably hard, kicks unreasonably hard. But
Yeah. Who do you think takes initiative in this fight? I tend to think it'll be Musashi.
Me too. That's his style.
I think Lima's going to be waiting on the counter a little bit more.
Man, it's interesting because the whole thing with Musashi is that he's not really, like, he does have a jab, but I just don't remember him having such an educated jab game.
He does.
See,
He absolutely does.
Does he?
Yeah,
Okay.
his jab is his best quality.
Right, that's crazy.
So, and sometimes it's at the expense of his other weapons, because sometimes he'll fight a very laid-back scientific performance where he's not pushing the finish as much as he could, because he kind of does his best work behind his jab, and sometimes instead of throwing the kill shot, he'll just continue to outpoint you throughout the fight with that jab, which just lands,
But
consistently.
see, I always thought that was more of a product of his distance management, because the way he throws it is just kind of like always.
That goes into having a scientific jab as well,
Fair
right?
enough. Fair enough.
Good timing. One of the few fighters who actually throws a good double jab. But in MMA. Yeah.
No, it's gonna be an interesting fight.
Finished Jacare by up kick, if you recall.
That did happen. But he also got finished by Uriah Hall, which is kind of one of those weird.
And then beat him.
But
yeah, that was a nice jump spinning back kick KO. Well timed. Yeah. So connections between our main events here. What else? I think that's it as far as the Bellator card. Is there anything else interesting on it?
You're asking me.
Yeah, you can pull. You got the computer.
Man, have you heard my rants against Bellator? I love Bellator now that they're actually not trotting out 50-year-olds to fight each other. But let's see here. I love how we're doing this now. Oh, I didn't even have to type in. I typed in Bellator 250, and
250 because that's the combined age of the participants in some of their bouts.
Yeah. Let's see here. So I'm gonna have to go to the screen thingy. All right. So this is a full Bellator card right here. Okay, and not really interested in anybody except for the man.
Well, what's the co-main? I can't see.
Brandon Geertz versus. Oh wait, Jack
Yoki
Swagger's fighting.
Who's he fighting?
Brandon Carlton.
Oh, let's pull up his record just how we can so we can laugh at the hilarious mismatch being put on.
Okay, hold on. Search.
Brendan Carlton. He might as well be fighting Carlton Banks.
Bone Crusher. 2 wins, 0 losses.
Wow, 2-0.
All right. At least this is. It's a heavyweight. It's definitely a heavyweight. So this is probably the guy. And let's see. Yep, he's going to be taking on Jake Hager, undefeated amateur.
What's the combined record of his opponents?
Jake Hager?
No. This guy. No. The other guy, Carlton Banks.
Carlton Banks.
He's got. Is that 0-4 on his first opponent?
Yep.
Wow. Okay, really building up your prospects here. 2-1. Okay. Cool.
Look, Jake Hager is fighting. He's fighting against another 2-0 guy. We'll leave it at that.
Didn't Jake Hager get disqualified in one of his fights?
It turned into a no contest, and people should do this more. It should be more no contests. Okay, more no contests. Okay, because John Jones, I just made a video on it. John Jones against Matt Hamill should have been a no contest. It's stupid.
You're a liar. Matt Hamill destroyed John Jones in that fight. Matt Hamill is the all-time GOAT.
Right. All right.
John Jones never threw another elbow after that fight. I hope you know. Matt Hamill was bouncing his head off the canvas, boom, to get extra leverage into those perfectly legal head strikes to John Jones' elbow. They had to pull John Jones off of Matt Hamill because his elbows were so destroyed. I don't care what anyone says. TKO by headbutts for Matt Hamill. That fight was dominant. The one
Please.
The one scar on John Jones's career, the one stain on his professional record.
Stefano, go home. You're drunk.
Hilarious. Shouts out to Matt Hamill. What else we got? We got anything? Or are we getting out of here? What's the deal?
Nah, we're getting out of here.
Okay.
Come on.
All right, people.
All right. Oh, wait. I got to do my thing. Okay. What are you looking for?
Nothing. I just seeing how I'm entering to the camera. Go on.
All right. Would you like me to put it to you? Would you like the camera on?
No, all I'm gonna say is subscribe, tell a friend, like the podcast. Ooh, low energy today. We started off so high energy.
I know. This is what happens when you start singing off a G and a G.
I'm a G and a G. It just saps your energy, drains you of all your metachlorians. Yeah, subscribe, tell a friend about it if you like what we do. We do everything we do it for you. We are the Leg Thick, and if you don't, well, I'll kill you or something. You know,
I'll kill you or something. Be like Phil DeFranco. I'll punch you in the throat. But all right, in this crazy mixed up world where nothing is going well, including this podcast, it was probably our worst one yet.
Easily.
Just remember, you got 3 things: you got life, you got family, and you got this podcast. Stay safe, everybody.